Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is Tuesday and it means Spotlight Hour is happening now, and it is Mienfoo. So what we're going to do is we're going to quickly mega evolve a fighting type. So let's just go mega and fighting, and we'll do a Medicham there. Let's just mega evolve him. And then what we'll also do is we'll use Spatial Wren. Now this is because I really want this shiny Mienfoo. Is something that I've really been after for quite some time now, and I'm hoping that we can get one tonight. Hey Jonathan, thanks very much for joining. So let's just catch a few of these Mienfoos around here. It is 2 times catch candy as well tonight, so that is really, really cool. And we might as well put a star piece on as well during the Spotlight Hour. So let's put a couple of star pieces on. We've got 101 of these star pieces, so we might as well use some. And as we mentioned before, let's use that Spatial Wren now. So we should have named one of ours Palkia Spatial Wren. And let's use that for the next hour. Yeah, no worries, Jonathan. No problem at all. I understand sometimes not everybody can make the live stream, so that's completely fine. So as I said, we are hoping for a shiny tonight. It isn't one of those Spotlight Hours where we're just doing it for the numbers. It is literally one that we do need. So really hoping for a shiny one tonight. It is a lovely shiny as well. So hopefully we'll be able to get one so I can show you. Wait a sec. Maybe go through Pokedex and stuff for Mienfoo. Okay, so we got on Mienfoo Pokedex, we have seen 494, caught 396. In terms of XP, we are currently on that. And then I'll show you my Stardust in a moment. And then Stardust quickly, just over 44 million Stardust. Now we have put a star piece on as well, so hoping to get a little bit more of that today. So hoping that this isn't one that's going to take us majority of the hour to find, because it does get a little bit nervous getting towards the back end of the hour, not having the shiny still. Now we have got one shiny already, but I do need a second one because of a family. So it is more of a want than need in terms of the shiny. So let's start using some of those great balls, and hopefully these will stay in a little bit easier. So do let me know in the comments if you've already done Mienfoo Spotlight Hour where you are. Like I say, it isn't one of those that is a super useful Pokemon. It might have some play in its evolution in terms of PvP, but in terms of everyday use, gym battles, and of course raids, it has no use at all. It is literally just a Pokedex filler, as so many of these Spotlight Hours are nowadays. Like I say, it might have some sort of play in PvP. That might be where it's best at. It seems like I've slept through my entire Spotlight Hour. That's not ideal. Hey Sebastian, how are you? Thanks for joining, mate. Hopefully you're having a good day. I've also put a link to our Discord server in the description of this YouTube live video, so if you want to join our Discord server, you can do. You should be able to find a link on there for our Discord server. Sponge Sniper, I used to play Pokemon Go. Awesome. Did you just fall out of love for it? What was your favourite Pokemon? Is Gyarados good? Gyarados is quite decent. Shadow Gyarados is better. Mega Gyarados is perhaps better than that. But yeah, Gyarados is quite decent because it does have a Mega, so it does become useful in some scenarios. But more or less, it's been outclassed now by the likes of Kyogre and stuff. What level are you on Pokemon Go? And when did you start as well? I'm one of the sad ones who started the day after it got released. So not quite the day it got released, just the day after. I think it was one of those, like so many though, that downloaded it that first week it came out. It was really rubbish back then. So I ended up putting it down for about 2 years, ended up re-downloading it 2018 time, and then since then I've never really stopped playing. It's become one of those daily routines now. First thing I do when I wake up in the morning is feed me buddy. A bit like a Tamagotchi back in the day, when you had to keep your pet alive on one of those Tamagotchis. That's how the buddy feature is now turned, what the buddy feature is now turned into. Like an old school Tamagotchi. I bet a lot of the people watching this now won't even know what a Tamagotchi is. But I'm showing my age, yeah. Hey Surui, how are you? Thanks for joining. Don't forget, to anybody new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you want to add me on Pokemon Go as well, just let me know in the comments down below. I'll share my trainer code on the screen when I have a chance. But yeah, do just let me know if you want to add me. Yeah, it was a pretty basic concept, the Tamagotchi. It was effectively, you just had to keep a digital pet alive by feeding it and stuff. But yeah, it was definitely something for the people born in the 90s, I would say. It was one of those must-have Christmas presents back in the 90s, the Tamagotchi. Everybody went mad for it. A bit like the original Furbies, if anybody remembers them. Of course, we relaunched them, didn't we? Anyway, I'm getting very nostalgic. Yeah, Tamagotchi. I was just saying to her that the buddy feature is like one of the first things I do in the morning now. So it's sort of like I wake up in the morning, I have to feed my buddy. I've just got in a routine now where it almost feels like it's replaced the old school Tamagotchi. You know, you've got to keep your buddy alive. Yeah, I'm glad we don't. Level 24, that's awesome. Hopefully you're enjoying the level ups as well. They come quite quick when you're just starting out, so your level ups should be happening pretty quickly if you're playing the game consistently. But it is a really fun experience when you keep leveling up, so hopefully you're enjoying the experience. That's what it's all about. And like I say, if you do want to add me, let me know, and I can put my trainer code up on the screen. You can take a screenshot of it, and then you can add me when you're free. Yeah, that's awesome, Seb. And still no shiny Mienfoo as of yet. I know it's only 11 minutes, but I'm wary that it's one we need. Still, we're getting the excellent throws off. And more importantly, we're getting the distance in as well, because we only need around about 4 kilometers until we level up now. Yeah, spotlight hour. Yeah. It's also the day when we're up to level 76, hopefully. So we should level up today. That's what I'm hoping. I'm definitely not rushing through the levels. I'm doing it at my own pace. But it should be a nice day to level up today. If the weather wasn't so terrible over the last few weeks, we could have perhaps leveled up a bit earlier, but for anybody who is familiar with the UK weather, it has been especially bad these last couple of weeks. Yeah, it is such a lovely shiny mine for us. Really hoping we'll get it tonight. Definitely going to have to stick my torch on in a moment. Sort of walking off a beaten track, but I know there's loads of spawns down here. So I've come for the spawns mainly. Come on, shiny Mienfoo. Well, I might play a game of guess the CP, and that's going to be guess the CP of a shiny. So if we do get a shiny Mienfoo tonight, what sort of CP do you think it's going to be? We'll see who's closest. But what sort of CP do you think it's going to be? We've seen around about 17 CP up to around about 900. So in the region of there we go, 971. So yeah, in the region of 17 to 1,000, what do you think the CP of our shiny is going to be, if we get one, that is? Of course, we need to get one first, but let's have a few guesses in the comments. Let's see if we do get one, who is closest. It's Quite a few low level ones, quite a few 17s and 18s we're seeing at the moment. Maybe that can be somebody's guess. I really do like this spatial rend. I hope the shiny will be 420. Seen one over 1,000 there, 1,055, 428, not far off, not shinier. We'll carry on walking a little bit further down here. Saw him start walking around the edge of a football field now. So it is very dark down here. But hopefully, no matter how dark it is, hopefully it gets rewarded by a shiny Mienfoo. That's all we can hope for. 16 minutes in, just over a quarter of the hour. And no shiny as of yet. Hundos and stuff like that we'll check at the end. We're just wanting a shiny for now. If we get a hundo at the end, then even better, but still, shiny is a more important one for now. Got a couple of winner max battles, and we've got a couple of win free max battles in as well. And the win free max battles is the more exciting one because that can be Dynamax Hitmonlee or Hitmonchan, which of course are shiny boosted as well. Perhaps wasn't the best idea walking across this football field, but we wanted the spawns. It is very boggy, which is no surprise really if we take into account the amount of rain we've had over this last couple of days here. But still, where is our reward? That's actually quite a decent rocket. It's a dragon one, that one is. Might actually be something quite decent. May do that in just a moment, if it's still there after we've caught respawns. 424 on that Mienfoo. Getting closer to Jonathan's guess. Still no shiny. Come on, shiny, where are you? The next one will be shiny. No, I'm not going to say that every time until we eventually get it, because I think after 40 minutes of it, people are going to get rather annoyed. Oh, I've clicked on a blue again. Let me just check that one. And then I might do a rocket. Let's do a rocket balloon. So after we've done this rocket balloon, we'll check and catch the remaining Mienfoo around here, and we'll also start our daily adventure incense. That's going to give us half an hour of daily adventure incense, which is the chance of obviously spawning Galarian birds, but also it will give us more Mienfoo encounters, so a bit of a win-win really. Now of course you can just put a normal incense on if you want to do Mienfoo encounters, and a normal incense will last for an hour as well, so twice as long. So if you haven't yet done Spotlight Hour in your area and it is a shiny you really want, then I would recommend putting a normal incense on. But the fact that we haven't done our daily yet, and the fact that I've completely forgot about it for the first 20 minutes, we might as well just put our daily on and see what we get from that. We've got a Shadow Tyrant. I don't know if 574 is any good or not. We haven't even caught it, so let's try again. Excellent throwing it on that occasion. And it does stay in the ball. 574 is not too bad actually, 2-star, but 10, 11, 11. Nothing we could really purify or make use of, so we'll probably just end up going to a professor that one. But now that's done, let's stick our daily adventure incense on. Like I say, half an hour. Normally it's only 15 minutes of daily, but when you get to a certain stage of a Go Battle Pass, not the Go Battle Pass, the Go Pass, should I say, the month Go Pass, then you get double the amount of incense. I think it's one of the first stages when you get to like level 25 or something like that. You end up getting twice as long on the incense, on the daily incense that is. Got a massive whale on the screen now. But a Mienfoo's underneath it. Tried to click on a whale then and we got a Mienfoo. Over 1000 CP again. It's nice to see. But still no shiny. Surely we haven't got long now until one, we get a shiny, but also two, until we level up. I think we had 6 kilometers to walk during the live stream. We mustn't be far away from that, I would say. 6 kilometers is probably around about 4 miles in terms of UK. Tends to be what we use here in the UK, miles. So yeah, it's probably around about 4 miles, 6 kilometers. Will we get a shiny? Will we get a shiny before we level up? We've got 5 kilometers left to walk. I have a feeling that's going to go down to 4 very soon. So now we'll start heading down the village where we'll get some more spawns. These are limited spawns at the moment because we've already walked this way, so we've already caught them all. Anything that we see pop up now would be a new spawn, which means a additional shiny check as well. It's also a good way of just knowing which ones you've shiny checked if you catch them. There we go, we're down to 4 kilometers now, what we need for a level up. It's probably around about 2.5 miles. So not far to go. Turn that torch off now. Tiny Mienfoo, but still can't be shiny. Would have been nice to get a tiny shiny then. Has anyone else in the comments had one of these shinies before? Do let me know down below. It's a very cool looking shiny. Daily Incense still not showing us any goods at the moment. Bringing us Mienfoo, but none of them shiny, and no Galarian birds either. I do not, in fact, have a shiny Mienfoo. No, it is one of those that's not really been featured in many events in the past. We had the shiny release, and then it sort of never really got featured again since. I think the shiny release was in one of the in-person events. So it was quite a limited one, really, up until this well-armed event where it's been spawning quite a bit. And this current well-armed event, the one with Clobberpuss in the wild, and also the debut of Dynamax Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, that finishes tonight at 8 PM, so an hour after a Spotlight Hour is finished. So we've only got the rest of today to get, or to take advantage of those Dynamax shiny boosted for Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. I'm guessing they'll go back to full odds after this event. I'm guessing they'll still be available on Dynamaxes, but at a full odds rate of around about 1 in 512. Whereas at the moment, I think they're boosted to around 1 in 64, so it is a considerable boost. I've only done a few battles myself, but haven't managed to get a shiny. We may do a few after the end of the Spotlight Hour, if there's any about. There's quite a few Mienfoo here. I just want to check before we walk too far. If you crown Zacian's armor or uncrown and trade it to one who... Right, okay. That's interesting. To be honest, I don't think I'll ever be in a situation where I'll uncrown one, because if I've crowned it, it's normally a decent one that I'm going to keep myself. So, but yeah, it's a decent one to know. So nearly the halfway mark, 29 minutes of the hour gone. There we go, half an hour now. So we are halfway through the Spotlight Hour. No shiny, we haven't yet checked hundos. Thank you very much, Godzilla. Do appreciate you jumping in on the live as well. Thanks so much. Hope you're doing okay. Again, we'll just slow the pace down just so we don't get too far ahead of ourselves. With the spatial rem being on, there is quite a bit to catch in some areas. So we just virtually have to stand still as we catch up with the spawns. It is very good though, that spatial rem adventure effect. I would say that OG adventure effects in terms of spatial rem and raw time, I would say they're still probably up there as two of the best, if not two of the best, the adventure effects that you can have. We've had a few more since then, but I don't think anything quite gets near those in terms of usefulness. How shiny Mienfoo looks, it is actually a very, very cool looking shiny. It goes purple, so the pink bits on its arms go to like a purple colour. Hopefully Bob will show you soon. But yeah, the pink bits on its arms go to like a purple colour, and I think its body goes to a bit more of a whitier colour instead of a creamy colour, I think. But yeah, it does look a very, very cool shiny. I don't think we have enough purple shinies in the game. Yeah, hopefully we get to see one tonight. But yeah, I do think purple shinies are a little bit few and far between. Oh, storage is full. Let's just quickly clean out that storage. The ones that are purple shinies are actually really cool. If you think of Pupitar, the middle form of Larvitar and Tyranitar, that is a purple shiny. It looks very, very cool. Yeah, I think he is in Gen 5. I think Mienfoo is in Gen 5, yeah. I think you're right there. It is a cool looking design. I do quite like its evolution as well. It only evolves once, but I do like it. There's quite a few around here. We'll just catch up with our spawns here. Got a couple across there. One off the daily, which we've already checked. So I'm not too worried if we don't stay in the ball. I'm more worried about just making sure to check them and throw a ball at them. If you catch, then even better, because we don't get confused with what we checked and what we haven't. Not so much bothered about the candies of Mienfoo, but still, can never turn down additional candy. It is 2 times catch candy today, so we are getting twice as many candy already on all these Mienfoo. But yeah, it's more so just recognising what you've checked and what you haven't when you try and catch them all. What was your first shiny? Mine was a shiny Noibat. It got hacked. So my first shiny was Omanite. So back in when I first installed the game in 2016, I actually ended up uninstalling the game after, you know, not many days really, about a week or so, just because there was nothing in my area. The area in which you see now, I think that gym up there, which has got 18 minutes on a raid, that used to be a Pokestop, and it was the only Pokestop I had in this area, and it was around about a mile away from my house. So I had to walk about a mile to get to a Pokestop, spin it, obtain about 3 or 4 Pokeballs, and by the time I took about 5 or 6 steps away from that Pokestop, I'd already used them. So it was a very challenging time to try and play the game. So, and also the game back then wasn't as good as what it is now. So I ended up uninstalling it after about a week or so in 2016. And then when I reinstalled it in 2018, I must have reinstalled it during a fossil event, I'm guessing, because there was quite a few Kabutos and Ommanites, and I think it was the first event in which they were released shiny. I ended up getting a shiny Ommanite and didn't know it was shiny because I hadn't caught another Ommanite. So it was my first shiny, it was my first Ommanite, it was purple, I didn't realise that was a shiny one. It was only around about 6 months later when I caught another Ommanite, and it was a blue one, but I realised it was the one that I caught previously was a shiny. So, you know, we are all novices in one day and age. So yeah, it was a complete surprise to me. But yeah, shiny Ommanite was my first shiny, and I didn't know anything about it for about 6 months. So yeah, I've always liked the fossil Pokemon. I grew up in the 90s, and one of the first Pokemon sets in terms of cards to start collecting was the 1999 fossil set, and it remains one of my favorite sets of all time in terms of Pokemon cards. So yeah, the fossil set is just, to me, like, it is the best. It's got everything. It's got Gengar in it, it's got Ghastly, Haunter, it's got all the fossil Pokemon of Gen 1. It is just like one of the best sets, in my opinion. And yes, I have got all those Ghastly, Gengars and Haunters cards in my collection from that fossil set. What do you think about Garbodor? It's an interesting design. I don't mind the design of Garbodor. In terms of a Gigantamax, I think it's pretty cool. It's very much similar to Snorlax in terms of when it's shiny on its Gigantamax, some of the features on it changes, which I really like. So in terms of Gigantamax Snorlax, when it has that tree going out of its belly, doesn't it? Gigantamax Snorlax. And when the non-shiny version, that tree is green, whereas the shiny version, it's orange. So it's almost like summer and autumn. And then with Garbodor, or Garbodor, whichever you want to pronounce it, with Garbodor, the Gigantamax, I think there's a ship or a plane that's like wedged inside its belly, effectively. And that changes colour from the shiny to the normal, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I like that sort of thing. I like those small details in terms of shinies. I've always thought that the costume shinies should have a different, you know, when you get like, if we're talking about shinies, first shinies, my Goldeen, that's actually quite a decent first shiny. But yeah, in terms of shiny costumes, I've always wanted the case that the costume changes colour as well. I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah, exactly. So Garbodor G-Max is actually pretty cool. It's definitely a better design than some of the Megas that we've recently designed. I'm not a fan of the new megas. I think they've ruined some of the mega designs. "40 minutes, still no shiny Mienfoo. Where are you?" I thought this was the day. I thought this was the day I was going to get one. What's wrong with a wing coming out of his head? Yeah, the shiny is definitely hiding for us though. 420 CP, not shiny. That was Jonathan's guess at what the shiny was going to be, by the way. There still could be another one out there somewhere, but my hands are absolutely freezing. It's one of those weathers, one of those days where the weather is really cold and you just wished that you could actually find a pair of touchscreen gloves that actually worked with Pokemon Go. Because you get these touchscreen gloves that work, but they only work on, like, you know, you have to click the screen like 5 times for it to actually get to work. I've never found a pair of touchscreen gloves that actually work on Pokemon Go. Never. If anybody does know, let me know, because I could really do with some decent gloves. I'm tempted to just go down the fingerless route, you know, just have fingerless gloves. At least some of my hand is being kept warm. Yeah, fingerless bark gloves, that's a shout. That's actually quite a decent shout, that is. Because, to be honest, you don't really need much movement in terms of bending your fingers when you're trying to throw a Pokeballs. You know, you keep your fingers pretty straight. So you don't really need much movement in terms of bending, so you can be as thick as you want them to be, really. But yeah, you just need to have, like, fingerless ones, so at least the touchscreen works. Yeah, a lot of people play Roblox, don't they? Is Roblox that one where you can get, like, multiple games on it? Is that Roblox? There's, like, loads of mini games inside. I've never really played Roblox. I think I'm thinking of the right one. You have, like, loads of different mini games inside, like, the main game, don't you? Why are you throwing the Pokeballs and instantly run? It's called quick catching. So there's a catching method in the way where you don't have to actually watch the Pokeball animation rock side to side. So it's just quicker in terms of these events where there's loads of Pokemon spawns and all you want to do is catch them and then just move on. You don't have to sit around waiting for the animation for the Pokeball to rock side to side. Now, it's not a guaranteed catch by no means. It can still run away, but it's just a lot quicker. You do have to use both hands when you're doing it though. There's not really a one-handed version. There used to be something where you could trick it to use one hand, but But yeah, it's a pretty cool technique. If it wasn't so cold, I'd explain it on how I'm doing it. But I think there is a video up on my YouTube channel on how to go about doing it. I think it's in the tips section or something like that. Useful tips and tricks or something like that. So see if you can find it on my channel somewhere. If not, I will explain it on a future live video when you tune in. Favorite legendary? That's a good question. Favorite legendary? I've always been a fan of Rayquaza, mainly because of course it's Mega. But I think if I was to choose any legendary at all, based on whether it had a Mega or not, I would probably go for Yveltal. Yveltal is a pretty cool legendary. Lugia's always had I've always had a bit of a soft spot for Lugia as well, but yeah, I would say Yveltal. Yveltal seems to be up there in my top picks. It's also a dark type, so yeah, so there used to be a trick where you could jump on AR for the one-handed version of a quick catch. There used to be a trick where you went on AR for your buddy, you caught a Pokemon using AR, and then the run button would always remain there. So you could just literally keep running away after throwing one-handed. I don't know if that still works or not. I'm not too sure. God, I'm really losing the sensation of my fingers now. It is freezing. I don't know what temperature it is, but it is freezing. One thing that's not helping is that none of these are shiny, which is really annoying. Fun, they finally announced Karen Fusion Raid Day. That's awesome. When is it going to be? Are we going to try and jam it into December, or is it in January? I can only assume it's in January sometime. I also like Reggie Trio because when I wanted my first legendary, I caught Regice and thought it was normal, because somehow I caught it a third time and ignored it when I found out how. That's awesome. Yeah, the Reggie Trio are pretty cool. I quite like in terms of the Reggies, I would say my favourite one is Reggie Drago. I know it's one of the newer ones, but in terms of design, I would say Reggie Drago is my favourite. Yeah, Reggies are quite cool. One thing I like with the Reggies are the different symbols. So you know how like each one has got a different like dots. I think that's pretty cool. I like that. Have a different pattern of dots and a different amount of dots as well. I really like that. Yeah, that's it. Regidrago has like a head like a dragon. That's awesome. It's one of my favourites, if not my favourite Regi, to be fair. Especially when we got a Shundo of it. It definitely became my favourite man. When it was shiny on that solo raid, and I ended up getting a Shundo. It was pretty insane. It's probably the easiest Regi to solo, in all fairness. I don't think there's many other Regis that you can actually solo. I think Regieleki might be soloable if you use ground types. But yeah, Regidrago is a really easy solo. Oh, this is terrible. We've run out of spawns. There's one there. Yeah, there should be a Regi of each different type. I agree with that. We've got Regidrago, we've got Regieleki, we've got Regirock, got Regiice, got Registeel. There should be one of each different type. It might be something that they add in future generations. Of course, we never realised there was going to be a dragon and an electric one until recently. And then obviously you've got Regigigas, which is normal type. But yeah, there needs to be like a fire one. I think a fire one would look pretty cool, to be fair. If it was a fire, water and grass one in the next generation, that would be pretty cool. Could do some really cool designs with them, I'm sure. Yeah, Regigigas is like the main one here at the moment, out of all the fives. He's definitely the bulkiest one as well. I think in the, am I right in saying in the main series games, you have to get like all the first 3 Regis before then encountering a Regigigas? I think it's something along those lines, isn't it? You have to go in like different areas to get Regiice, Registeel and Regirock, and then you have to go into a different area once you've caught all those to get Regigigas. I think that's right. Let's go down a roadway. I know where I'm walking, man. We have not got long to change the fact that we haven't got a shiny yet. We're into the last 5 minutes. This is not what I wanted. I wanted to get a shiny pretty early on during the spotlight hour, and then we wouldn't have. Do your thing every trick with 4 members. Every trio could have 4 members. Come on, Mienfoo, where are you? Come on, shiny Mienfoo. While you're up here, do we have to quickly walk back the opposite way? Or are you going to be up here for us? We are running out of spawn points now in this direction. We're going to have to start heading back on ourselves in a moment, which isn't good. There might be a bit of a lull in spawns, being what we've caught most of them. down to the wire, you predict that we're going to get a shiny in the last 30 seconds. That's going to be mental if we do. Now you've said that, it's going to be mental if we do. Right, I'm quickly going to go back the next way. Come on, shiny Mienfoo. Where are you? Jangamo, not what we need right now. Oh, come on, Mienfoo. Come on, Mienfoo. 3 more kilometers to for the level up as well. Shiny Galarian Articuno would be wild. We've already got a few of those though. And I think the daily is now finished. Yeah, we have finished our daily. So we've got no more chances of shiny Galarian birds. But we have got a normal incense. Now I'm only going to use 4 minutes of this incense. But still, it's additional spawns, additional Mienfoos. Can it be a way that we get the shiny in the last few minutes? There's a new one. It would be nice since you don't have a daily incense on. Yeah, our daily adventure incense ran out a couple of minutes ago. While we were talking about all those Reggies. Normal incense bringing a couple of Mienfoos out. Come on, if we get a shiny Mienfoo in the last few minutes here, I will go mad. Less than 2 minutes. Come on, I am fully focused now. An hour's worth of incense on, all for the sakes of the next 90 seconds or so. Please, come on. Two more kilometers until we level up. I jokingly said at the start of the stream, what would happen first, leveling up or a shiny Mienfoo? It's looking increasingly likely the shiny Mienfoo is going to not be appearing for us, and that the level up will win. Did we chat out one on the incense? We did. A couple more up here. We are into the last few seconds now. Check out one twice now. Check the one before it. All right. Incense spawn. Come on. Any more, any more. There's one there. No shiny. Come on. Where are you? Any more spawns? There's one there. Oh no! He's despawned. Oh, gutted. Absolutely gutted. Ah, I'm so gutted about that. I honestly thought today was the day where we were going to complete that shiny Mienfoo family. As I mentioned before, we have already got one. So for those who want to see the shiny Mienfoo. This is what shiny Mienfoo looks like. We wanted an additional one for the family, and we didn't get it. So gutted. So this is going to remain unevolved at the moment. It's a decent one. It's a 2-star, but still, so wanted the shiny for the family. That is so annoying. At least I got a 421. Yeah, at least I got a 421. Oh, that is annoying. Still, let's look at the bright side. Let's see if we got any hundos. We didn't. Is there a bright side to this? I don't think there is. We got no hundos, no shinies. We now have an hour left of the current well-armed event. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to stay live because we are going to level up very, very soon. We have got 2 kilometers to walk until we level up. So if you want to, you can stick around. Let's get to level 76 tonight. Can I see your candy, etc.? Yes, of course you can. So in terms of candy and Stardust, that's on the screen now. And then in terms of Mienfoo seen and caught, it's a shame we didn't get a hundo because we're missing out on a hundo as well. That's a little bit annoying now. Didn't notice that on the Pokédex first time around. But yeah, there's how many we've seen and caught. And then in terms of XP, I don't know if you kept tag on that one, but there is our XP total as of now. So yeah, pretty decent. Pretty decent. We tried. I was just about to say, watch this one be shiny after the hour. Like, you know, it would probably happen. I wouldn't put it past. Won't put it past us walking the way back up now. We end up getting a shiny. I wouldn't put it past us. Right, let's do this shiny hit, or I would hope that it's shiny, but let's do this Hitmonlee battle. Like I say, these finish tonight at 8 PM. I think the Dynamax Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan might be still on battles until 9 PM. I'm unsure. But the event itself, a well-armed event, finishes at 8 PM. So we've only got an hour left of this event, or just under an hour now. So we're going to see if we can get a shiny tonight on the stream. And then, of course, we have got that level up hopefully happening as well. Or we will be sticking around until it does happen, that's for sure. So it will be leveling up tonight. It's just a case of when that's going to happen, more than if. Did you play Pokemon Unite? I did actually used to play Pokemon Unite a bit. When it first came out, I tried it. I actually quite enjoyed it. It was just one of those things that I never really got massively into because Pokemon Go was like the main thing. It's a bit like the Pokemon Sleep game. I got into a Pokemon Sleep game a little bit, but then Pokemon Go just sort of took over again, and I never really managed to get back into it. So yeah, it was actually quite a decent game, Pokemon Unite. Quite liked it. It reminded me of some other games growing up. Can't quite remember the names of them now, but it was a similar sort of format. Oh, is that what happened? Right, I've not tried it since it got updated now. So that's something I luckily missed out on. good try game for it, yeah. Hey Ruthless, how are you? Thanks so much for joining, mate. Really do appreciate it. Haven't seen you for a while. I hope you're doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. We didn't manage to get a shiny Mienfoo, unfortunately. We missed out on that during Spotlight Hour. But we are going to be leveling up soon. Level 76 is on the horizon. We've only got around about 1.5 kilometers to do. Karen Ray Day got announced. What day is that? I haven't yet seen that. When we're being on game and being on stream. So what day have we announced that for? It's a fusion raid day, isn't it? See page, in-game page. Okay, I'll check that out in a second. 10th of Jan. Right, okay. So that's like the first weekend in January. Pretty much after the new year. Okay. I'm guessing that must be like a Sunday then. Well, no, Saturday. Saturday, the 10th of Jan. No shiny Hitmonlee. Yeah, Gigantamax shiny Gengar is amazing. It keeps the white colour that the Mega one has. It does look really, really cool. Not a bad Hitmonlee. Could be better. But not a bad one. Right, so I can either do another Hitmonlee, or we can see if there's a Hitmonchan anywhere nearby. Might just do another Hitmonlee, to be fair. There's one right here, so it might be the way. Or there's a Hitmonchan up there, actually. What do people prefer? Shall we do a Hitmonlee or a Hitmonchan? In terms of Hitmonlee, have we managed to get a decent one yet? No. We'll do a Hitmonlee. We'll do another Hitmonlee. We won't use a particle pack. We won't use a particle pack, but we will, however, collect our particles from this research, which means we now should have 400. Yeah, 420. 420, which again, Jonathan guessed in terms of a CP. Everything seems to be 420 related now, after Jonathan's guessed that. So slightly different team this time. We've gone in with a bit more of a preferred team against Hitmonlee. Of course, with it being a fighting type, it's weak to Psychic. Gengar probably wasn't the ideal choice, but it's what we got recommended last time. And that's probably down to the fact that our Alakazam that we use normally was needing a little bit of health. So now we've healed that up, it should be a case where this gets taken down a little bit quicker. Fun fact, Ice Dragon with Ice Wings, unable to fly. Oh, fair enough. Not really picked up on that before. So Dynamax Alakazam. It's a shame that this doesn't have a Gigantamax, because I think Gigantamax Alakazam would look amazing. Maybe something for the future if we ever come round to redesigning Gigantamaxes like we have with Megas. But Alakazam was always one of my favourites from Gen 1. Always had a bit of a soft spot for Alakazam. It's a really cool design. Yeah, maybe. There's still hope for that. Now that we've reintroduced Mega Evolutions and brought back like more designs and even different versions of current designs, so then we can only hope. But never Z moves. Yeah, from what I've seen, the Z moves are like really overpowered. I saw a little clip of Pokemon Legends ZA where a Lucario Z was taking down a rogue Absol, and it just completely obliterated it on a raid. It was just like completely overpowered. This Lucario was. So Alakazam died. A little bit of a shame. 397 seen, 377 caught, so we didn't actually do too bad on catch rate. A bit under odds to have a shiny. Yeah, I'd go with that. So yeah, perhaps not did as much as what I wanted, but I think we were aware of how cold it was. We had a bit of a dry spell where we didn't have any spawns. But overall, I'm quite happy with that. 390 in an hour is decent going. And especially with catch rate, that's quite a decent percentage of catch success rate, that is. 377 now to 397. I'm happy with that. Cheers again for the stats there, Jonathan. Really do appreciate it. I never asked Jonathan to do any of this. He's just started doing it on his own back. It's really good of him. 3,395 candy. That's pretty decent as well. I'm happy with that. So the last Hitmonlee that we're going to get during this event is again another rubbish one. It's a 2-star, 1428. No shiny Mienfoo there. That is just about my luck. So the hour after Mienfoo Spotlight Hour, Mienfoos are now boosted because the weather's changed to cloudy. That is just typical. So weather boosted normally means that we get more spawns of them. Now, of course, during Spotlight Hour, you would hope that wouldn't be the case because we already get increased spawns. But we would have had higher CPs, we would have had more candy, etc. So, and Stardust would be in a weather boost. So yeah, that's a little bit annoying. Perhaps a little bit easier to catch with being a lesser level, but still. It's a shame that we didn't have a weather boost during the hour. Fun to be you, yeah. Annoyingly. Coming out of all the facts today. Godzilla's doing all the facts. Oh, right, no way. Godzilla's teaching me a few things here. Hey Era, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. You join us as we are on the final stretch to level 76. We've done Spotlight Hour. That didn't end brilliant. We had no shiny and no hundo after encountering 397 of them, but still, having hopefully to put a little bit of a cherry on top of the quite disappointing cake of which we found ourselves during Spotlight Hour, we should be leveling up today. We will be leveling up today, should I say. And hopefully very soon, because I'm absolutely freezing. Let's get our Pikachu back out. He can be a part of this when we level up. So we're on 298 kilometers. It's saying we need 2 kilometers, but I think that's going to be closer to 1 now. I'm going to start taking this gym as well. Ancient Power. I quite like how it tells you which one is super effective now. In some scenarios, for many years, I've sort of just guessed and probably got it wrong most of the time. Oh, 2 hours they've only been on there, so I won't completely take the gym. I'm not that cruel. You can be kicked tomorrow instead. 299 out of 300 kilometers. We are into the final kilometer. One more push. 1 more kilometer push. 1 more push to level 76. God, I hate these walking challenges. We've still got another one to do as well. When you get to level 77, you have to walk 400 kilometers. I mean, don't get me wrong, I haven't been racing through this. I haven't been doing many kilometers. I've been doing less than my average every week since having that challenge. Mainly because I've not really been playing the game as much as I normally do. Because I think the events have been quite disappointing as of late. But still, it's led us to this point. We are 1 kilometer, less than 1 kilometer away from leveling up. We have a mine from the incense. That would have been typical if that was shiny. Fortunately, still not the case. So come on. 1 more kilometer. How far is that? 600 kilometers? Sorry, 600. Or 0.6 miles, should I say. It's not far, is it? I might run it. I might run the last kilometre just so I can warm up at the same time because I'm freezing. Or you can hear, if all of a sudden you start hearing like deep breaths down a microphone, it's because I'm running, okay? I'm not going to run. Running is definitely not my thing. Pikachu has found a candy. Let's just keep an eye on these egg counts. So 1.9 kilometers. We need that to be around about 2.5 to get anywhere close. That's probably a more accurate way of finding out how close into this kilometer we are in. Seems forever since we were level 75. It's got to be around about 4 weeks now that we've been level 75, if not more. Could be 6 weeks. Could be like the start of November when we got to level 75. It does seem to have took forever, this last 300 kilometers. No level 5 raid nearby, so there's no interesting raid that I can invite people to before we finish today. It is just about leveling up. Globopus on the incense, we'll catch him. Don't know how much of him we're going to see after the next hour when the well-armed event finishes. Let's check that egg. Still 1.9. That's not good. I know it normally updates in stages, so it just jumps randomly from 1.9 to like 2.2 or something stupid. Ghastly. That'd have been nice as a final shiny of being level 75. I was hoping Mienfoo was going to be out, but it doesn't look like it could be. But anyway, enough of Mienfoo. Level 76 is coming. Egg has gone up to 2.1. So we must be around about 0.7 kilometers away now. Well, people just sat in silence in the comments, just waiting for it to happen. I know I would be if I was watching. I'd just be sat there going, go on, any minute now. Any minute now. Shiny Growlithe off the incense, level 1 as well. That's a nice little shiny. That could very well be the last shiny that we get at level 75. It's a terrible one in terms of the stats, but it could very well be the last shiny we get on this current level. No! Back to back! No way! We have got back to back shinies off the incense. What is happening? What is happening? Pull me? No. We couldn't go for triple, but still, that's a little bit insane. Back to back incense shiny spawns. I'll definitely take that. That is pretty cool. Swirlix. No shiny. It's got to be close. We've got to be close now. We're up to 2.4. We are very close now. We are very, very close. Just a few more steps. And surely we've done it. This long and arduous task of getting 300 kilometers walked will finally be over in just a few more moments. And then we've got to work our way through level 76, get to level 77 and do 400 kilometers. But still, step by step, we are getting closer to level 76 on Pokemon Go. You'll probably notice, before we get the pop-up on the screen, you'll probably notice a level change in the bottom left-hand corner before that happens. You'll probably see that level change before we see the pop-up, so keep an eye out on that. Coming level 75, as you can see in the bottom left-hand corner, we will surely be leveling up soon. We're heading back the way in which we just came. We're now up to 2.6 on the egg. It's got to be soon, hasn't it? Surely this is it. Duskull, 420 CP on the Duskull. Jonathan mentioned 420 at the start. It seems to be a feature most of the evening now. I would be so glad to have a level up where we haven't got to walk, where we can focus on other challenges. Yes, it might take us just as long, but there we go. Level 76 on Pokemon Go. Get in there. Oh, I'm so happy that that is now finished. 300 kilometers done. Level 76. Let's take a screenshot of those stats. 9,864 Pokemon caught during that level up, 3,849 Pokestops visited, and 300 kilometers walked. Let's go. We are now level 76 on Pokemon Go. We can start working towards these challenges next. Platinum badges, we haven't got to worry about that. It's automatically completed that one. The next set of challenges for level 77 on Pokemon Go is the following. We've got to power up a Pokemon to their max CP. So that is to get a Pokemon up to level 50. We've got to do that 7. Win 100 max battles and make 10 trades with Pokemon caught at least 300 kilometers apart. So at least there's only 10 trades. We've got a fair few max battles to do, and I will only be using my free particles for a majority of that, of course, unless there is a G-Max battle day or something like that. It's mainly going to be just a free particle, so it's going to take us a few weeks, this one, to do those max battles, but I am so happy to get over level 76. And that is going to be where we wrap up today's live stream. Thanks so much to everybody who's tuned in and been involved in getting me to level 76. Thanks to everybody who's commented and got involved in the comments to that and made the live stream as fun as it always is. But I'm going to go home, get warm, and start to get some sort of movement back in my fingers. But hopefully you've enjoyed tonight. Make sure to like this live stream, subscribe to the channel as well, turn that notification bell on, and also go follow me on TikTok and join my Discord group. The link of that is in the description. But thanks very much for watching. Hope you have a good evening, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.